So, what do we have hidden inside that?
So today we have chicken bhuna, slow roasted chicken curry.
That looks really, really good.
I know you're vegetarian and this is non-vegetarian, but then really, I really hope you appreciate the color, the flavors, and all of that.
So, I happen to be one of those vegetarians who doesn't mind trying the curry.
You know, French people are obsessed with butter, so the same equivalent to us is mustard oil. Hello, I'm Sanjana.
And I'm Tejaswini, and welcome to the Secret Ingredient Podcast, where Sanjana and I try different dishes from across the country.
With one secret ingredient which ties all of them together.
So, what do we have hidden inside that?
So, it is one of the most delicious recipes I have ever tasted. This is the second time I have made it, and I really hope you like it. I know you're vegetarian, and this is non vegetarian, but then I really hope you appreciate the color, the flavors, and all of that.
So, I happen to be one of those vegetarians who doesn't mind trying the curry. And also, I was not always a vegetarian. So, I grew up non-vegetarian. Everyone in my family was a non-vegetarian, but I left it pretty early. I was kind of stubborn and I wanted to just switch. So, one funny and kind of a weird thing about me is that even though I don't eat meat, I actually really love the aroma of like a chicken curry or a mutton curry or a biryani or whatever. So I can definitely appreciate the dish even though I can't quite dig into the chicken.
Yeah, I think that's a spirit. That's the attitude we should all have. Even though we might not consume it, let's just appreciate the beauty of it. So let's get into it. So today we have chicken bhuna, slow roasted chicken curry.
That looks really, really good.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys can, obviously, you guys can't smell it, but it also smells really, really good.
Yeah, I wish everyone was in the room with us.
Yeah.
So they could, get the first whiff of this, the flavors. It's really strong. So do you want to have a taste? Let's dig into it as a
So why don't you serve and I'll take a sneaky little bite of the curry.
Yes. So I'm adding a bit more of gravy than usual for you for tasting.
Yes, please.
So yeah. So this is what we have is chicken bhuna, slow roasted, very, very flavorful and indulgent. A perfect Sunday meal.
Oh yeah,
And what a coincidence we are shooting this on a Sunday.
that's true.
Yes,
This
yeah.
I always associate chicken curries with like a hearty meal, like something very satisfying and just comfort food again. So yeah, it's a perfect Sunday lunch.
Yeah, I think that's a very beautiful and a very apt way of describing it.
Yeah.
A Sunday meal, comfort food, and this is exactly that. So please do the honors of tasting the curry first, and then of course I'll eat it for sure. How's that?
It has a very homely, familiar kind of
Yeah.
flavor to it.
Yeah.
So I can actually imagine making making a vegetarian version of this as well, right? Like put in some paneer, like fried paneer, and maybe like an assortment of vegetables, and that would be really delicious as well.
Yeah, I think vegetarian bhuna, like a paneer bhuna, would taste fantastic with this.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's also reminding me a little bit of like ghee roast. Is that a similar cooking style?
So basically, bhuna is roasting, and in ghee roast, you roast all the spices or the base in ghee. So the basic idea of roasting and bhuna is the same. In vegetarian, I have personally made a mushroom ghee roast, so I can imagine mushroom bhuna, and I think that would be fantastic. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I've also like witnessed mushroom ghee roast and also paneer ghee roast, of course. Maybe even like aloo, like potato ghee roast or a potato bhuna, like that could work as well.
Yum. Yeah, it would taste fantastic. You know, with baby potatoes,
Yes.
boil the baby potatoes, then you roast it in oil, and then you cook it in the bhuna masala. I think that would be great.
Yeah, the potato lover in me is screaming. So why don't you run me through this recipe?
All right, so I'll actually talk about it. This is not my recipe. This is my friend's, and so she's North Indian. She's Punjabi, and उनके घर पे ये बहुत सालों से बन रहा है. Like it's a generational recipe of hers, and Sunday meals or on occasions on holidays, chicken bhuna or mutton bhuna बनता ही है. And I was over at her place one of these weekends, and ये बना था chicken bhuna, and I tasted it and it was so delicious. It was yum, and I had to beg her for the recipe. I was like, you have to give me, I know it's a family recipe, I know all about that, but please मुझे दे दो यार recipe. I want to try it myself. So I went back home. I tried it once. This is the only second time I'm making it, and I really hope she watches this and she'll review it. I'm sure I've done justice to it. To me personally, it tastes great. I think it has turned out very yum, but then hers it had a sense of homeliness, and I tried my best to get that comfort, homeliness in this as well. So yeah, this is the background and the story about this. And yeah, I would love to go into the recipe as well.
Yes, please. I think you have done justice to the recipe, so maybe run us through the steps.
Yeah. So you marinate the chicken with yogurt, basic spices like chili, coriander, then there's lime. And I think I'll list down the recipes in the caption, there's way too many spices which goes into it. But then basically you marinate it with a bunch of powdered spices, yogurt, some lime juice, and you keep it aside. You can keep it overnight. I did keep it overnight, or you can, the minimum you can do is 1 hour or 30 minutes. And then the next day or within 1 hour, you slow roast the chopped onions in Pima Kachi Gani mustard oil, because mustard oil, as my friend told me, कि ये mustard oil में ही अच्छा बनता है, ये सरसों के तेल में ही अच्छा बनेगा, कोई और तेल में वो taste and flavor नहीं निकल के आएगा. And I truly believe that non-vegetarian food tastes fantastic in mustard oil, and I will go into that much more. I'll finish the recipe. And then you slow roast the onion till it gets golden and kind of brown, and then you add ginger garlic paste. In the marination itself you add ginger garlic paste. So ginger, garlic and chili paste, they play a very crucial role in this recipe. We add it twice, and then you add some tomato puree, and then you make a bhuna mix of spices. There's besan, there's sofka powder, then there is coriander, chili, cumin, turmeric, and you add that in the kadai and you roast it really well till you see oil on the sides. So the whole beauty of bhuna and slow roasting comes from there. And then go ahead and add the marinated chicken, and even that you have to roast at least 7 to 10 minutes. And once that is nicely roasted, you add some water, let it simmer, and थोड़ा ढक के cook करना रहता है. And then later when you see the chicken is cooked, everything looks perfect and it's this consistency, you finish it off with some garam masala and garnish it with coriander leaves. It pairs fantastically well with parathas, rotis and naan, but I like to have it with rice.
I think it would taste perfectly well with rice as well because of the curry. And you mentioned that there's a long list of spices, and I must say I can taste that.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot of flavor in just this one spoon that I had. So I can imagine that it's a labor of love.
Yeah, it truly is. I think that's a very beautiful way to describe it. It is labor of love. A lot of non-vegetarian dishes, especially mutton, which takes a lot of time to cook. and it tests your patience. But at the end of the day, it's if you cook it with a love, it is a labor of love. Yeah, I can think of a lot of other dishes, cooked in kachi ghani mustard oil, and there's kosha mangsho in Bengali, in Bengal, and which is kosha mangsho again means slow roasted, and the same idea goes behind it. It is even more darker than this. This is like thick and very indulgent. I would say that is even more indulgent. It takes more than 2 hours to cook that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So if you're planning to make that on a Sunday, you better start early in the morning.
So I wanted to actually ask you two things, because you were describing the process of slow roasting and that, it takes a while and you have to really take out that time. So, and I'm trying to just think of dishes that I have tried that give me a similar sense. So would you say even like dal makhni, which I know, is an outcome of being cooked over a long period of time, is it a similar technique?
So I wouldn't really call it, slow roasted. Slow cooking for sure.
Yeah.
Because it takes some time and it turns out delicious.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
it?
I just wanted to ask, because you're the expert, and I was just trying to think of dishes that I know that are known to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that I have heard this from other people as well, right? That cooking meat and non-vegetarian dishes in mustard oil just adds another flavor to it. So I wanted to know from you that what is it about mustard oil that makes cooking non-vegetarian and it's so special?
I believe there is certain level of pungency which really enhances the flavor of meat. And because it's being cooked for a longer time, mustard oil really helps in elevating and bringing out the flavor. And slow cooking ke liye, I think mustard oil is very much the best and also the healthy alternative when cooking with meat, because certain meats like red meat can be higher in cholesterol. So basically, if you're having meat, you're giving yourself an indulgent day. That is, you can completely be ignorant of the fact, or go for mustard oil, which will kind of balance the things in the palate. So I believe that's a very fantastic, option. And not only the modern science say that, because these are traditional, age-old recipes. I think people and our ancestors had already back then discovered that this oil is the better one when it comes to non-veg cooking.
Tell me something, is the high smoke point also a benefit in this regard?
It is. Surely, I do agree to that. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
So tell me something, Sanjana. What are some memories you associate with either chicken bhuna, which is of course you visited your friend's house and you had it there, or like similar chicken curries?
Sure. I have a lot. So I'm a Bengali, and mustard oil. So for us, French people are obsessed with butter. So the same equivalent to us is mustard oil. So when it comes to mustard oil and non-veg food, in my house, every kind of chicken curry is made in mustard oil. There's a Bengali chicken curry. Then there is kosha mangsho. There is a mutton curry. There is chicken lal chol, which is like very red and robust in taste, very rustic recipe, again in mustard oil. And when I say this, I cannot miss talking about fish. And there is something called hilsa fish. Sorse ilish we call it. Sorse means mustard. So it's not only cooked in mustard oil, but also there is a use of mustard paste in it. So we take black mustard and yellow mustard, we grind it to a paste with some posto. Some people even like to add coconut in it, but mustard oil and mustard is the key to it. Even there's what do you say? There's rui mach, jhol with mustard oil in it. So when I'm listing down this is something I grew up eating. And you cannot take those recipes away from me. So everything in a bunch is nostalgia for me. So be it Sunday chicken curry, or in my house every Wednesday is seafood. So there is
I was just going to get into that.
Yeah.
What about seafood?
Yeah. So Wednesday or Fridays is my dad would go into the fish market and get the freshest catch. Often it used to be rohu or katla, which again mustard oil is the perfect way to cook them in fried or curry. And there is something called there's a preparation called kalia. I think even that the spices are slow roasted, and then because fish cooks pretty quickly, but the spices are slow roasted, and then you add the fish towards the end. Again, mustard oil. So even that holds a very a special place in my heart. There's this one recipe called Rui Machir tomato jhol. Now this is my grandma's recipe, and she's no more with us today, but the recipe lives on. My dadi's recipe, and it's the most simplistic thing cooked in mustard oil. So that is my childhood, packaged in one. All of these recipes that I listed. I can't really pick one memory because that would be unfair to the others. So this is my story, my love with mustard oil and non-vegetarian food. Yeah, true.
Thanks. That was. Thank you for sharing so many details
Yes.
and names. I feel like I'm constantly learning about so many more dishes.
I'm glad to enlighten you. And I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
So you tasted this. I spoke a lot about the whole beauty of slow roasting the spices and slow cooking. What is that one vegetable you can imagine in cooked this way, or which you would like to experiment yourself? I know you love aloo,
Yeah.
but then I'll give you a challenge. All right, you cannot say aloo. What is that other vegetable you can imagine in this?
So, one, of course, I mentioned also paneer, like because you have the Shahi paneer and paneer lababdar and all that give a similar, have a similar texture when it comes to the curry. But I think one vegetable that would go really well in this context is probably kathal, jackfruit. I know it's known as a popular vegetarian alternative for meat dishes, and it's got that richness to it, that bite to it, and that it's vegetarian with that meatiness to it, right? So I've tried kathal biryani. In fact, there was a restaurant which served kathal nihari as well, and my husband, who's a hardcore non-vegetarian, he actually loved it. So I think maybe kathal or jackfruit could be a winner in that regard.
Definitely, I think that's fantastic. Kathal, we call it echod, is definitely an amazing alternative to because of the flavor and the texture. When you cook it, it shreds. It's like shredded chicken.
Correct.
Yeah, and you can make kebabs out of it. And then we have this dish called kosha echod, yeah, echode kalia. So kalia is a thing we cook with fish, but then the same base but with echod. And I have this one point to say. A lot of Bengalis, in the earlier days when you're a widow, they used to switch to Niramish diet. Now Niramish diet is vegetarian, also minus onion and pyaz. Okay, no onion and garlic. So a lot of these widows used to have a lot of kathal, a lot of echod, because it tastes so similar to non-vegetarian food. And thank you God for having that in the diets for vegetarians to enjoy. But I think, don't you think kathal bhuna would be a fantastic recipe?
Definitely. I've had some amazing kathal curries, and I was reminded of that when I took a small bite. So I think kathal bhuna would be wonderful. I want to ask you that you've made us chicken bhuna. What do you think are some other meats that would go really well?
I think mutton bhuna would be delicious. So, like goat meat, lamb would taste fantastic with it. And I think it is pretty popular. Mutton bhuna banate hai. And so the chicken has a lighter flavor and mutton has a stronger flavor. And so the meat, the entire curry would have that kind of a yum. I can't really describe it. For me, it's like umami. So the entire curry that you tasted would have 10 times more flavor into it, you know. The mutton would release its flavor into the curry. So yum, 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 yeah. So mutton is something you can make the bhuna with, and they popularly do make it. And I can't really imagine fish with it. Maybe surmai, like kingfish. Um, if you have salmon available, so maybe that is something to experiment. Can you imagine salmon bhuna? Like in the same base with some baked salmon in it or fried salmon in it.
I think I can imagine maybe prawns in it.
Why not? Truly, yeah.
Because there are ghee roasted prawns and there are some very rich prawn curries that you find along the Indian coast.
Yeah.
So I think that could, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not an expert, but
No, you're absolutely right. The only thing about prawns is because it cooks pretty quickly. So someone who wants to attempt this, you know what, I'll attempt it myself. Prawns bhuna. So you prepare the bhuna base, you keep it ready, then you just add your prawns into it. 2 minutes it will be ready once the bhuna is ready, because prawns have that kind of a thing that you cannot overcook it or else it'll get rubbery. So you want it to be soft and fresh and nice. So I think, yeah, that would be fantastic. Why not? Sure.
tell me something, because a typical bhuna recipe takes a while, right? Like the
Yeah.
whole idea is behind slow roasting it. So would you have any tips for someone who does not have that much time to spare, but they want to try a similar recipe?
So, my best tip to you is make some time. Because this is, like you said at the very beginning, we said it's a labor of love. You need a bit of patience. And if you skip on those things, the taste can be compromised. But then, like how I made this, keep your prep ready. As in, do the marination the night before and let it marinate for 8 hours or so. So, you're giving yourself a head start to the whole recipe. Keep your tomato puree ready, then onion chopped rakho, and bhuna masala bhi ready karke bana ke rakho. And एक बार गैस में कच्ची घनी mustard oil चढ़ जाए तो everything will come together pretty quickly. Like yesterday evening I marinated this, and in the morning I just started making it, and I wouldn't say it came together pretty quickly, but then quicker than what I imagined. So this is the way you can do it. You need to invest some time in the prep, and the very day you're going to serve it, you can get to it when everything is ready. So this is the way you can get the best out of it.
I think that's a helpful tip. That
Yeah,
just the preparation,
yeah.
the prep. If it can be done a day before, then you can get it together pretty quickly the next day.
Right. You did mention that your husband is a non-vegetarian and you're vegetarian. So that's such an interesting, I would love to know what is being cooked at your home. Like what curries, non-veg and veg. Kaisa, are you both managing with it?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not a vegetarian who's very particular about not trying the curry or with utensils being used and all of that. So we make both non-veg and vegetarian food. He also appreciates good vegetarian dishes, right? But at home, we do prepare some non-veg dishes. One go-to is a chicken curry. So it's lighter than this. So chicken with some potatoes. That is a curry that's often made in our house. And then on some occasions, he will also get a prawn curry made. Typically, we do these, and of course, chicken biryani is a non-vegetarian dish that's made
Yeah.
almost weekly at home. No.
So the days the non-veg is cooked at your home, so what do you consume to give it like a good competition to it?
So those are the days I try my hand at cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, so what is Tejaswani cooking on those days?
I like to make myself very easy recipes. So not typically Indian, because I'm still an underconfident cook. But it'll typically involve like a stir fry of vegetables, maybe a pasta or some noodles or something like that. I also love to make myself egg. So I'll try different versions of eggs, and I'll see some interesting recipes online, because I also need to get my protein intake.
Now that you mentioned egg, I think a egg bhuna
Oh
would be
yes,
fantastic, don't you think?
definitely.
Yeah.
And in fact, we do make egg curry at home as well, and very similar flavor profile. But you're absolutely right. An egg bhuna would be,
Yeah, you can boil the eggs and then maybe lightly roast the boiled egg and then make this bhuna base and add the egg in it. And the days your husband are eating non-veg food, this beats it.
yeah, maybe that's what
Yeah,
I'll try
yeah.
next time.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a great fit. You should try. You'll love it.
I'll definitely give it a shot after you give me this recipe.
I will. That is being sent to you ASAP, for sure, for sure.
Perfect.
And you know, all these non-vegetarian food has made me so hungry. So let's cut the camera so that I can dig in and finish the plate entirely. And I think that is all for today.
Thank you so much, guys.
And let's end on this note. We'll see you in the next episode.